So what is it and why should we get ready for grief? Hello everyone, Yvonne Heath here, nurse turned author, speaker, change maker. And in my 27-year nursing career, I worked in the United States and Canada in many departments, including emergency, intensive care, chemotherapy, and hospice. And I witnessed our society's grief phobia and how our reluctance to talk about, plan, and prepare for grief causes excessive suffering in life and at the end of life. I suffered too, not knowing how to do it differently. So in 2015, I took a leap of faith. I left my nursing career and wrote my book, Love Your Life to Death. And I share my message through my book as an inspirational speaker, a television and radio host, and through social media and blogging. I even delivered my TED Talk in March 2019. And I have been humbled to hear from hundreds of people how this information has been transformational. Now it's time for the next step. Because I realize that when someone is grieving, facing one of his life's challenges in a crisis, or just having a really bad day, or supporting others, they may not be able to read a book. They may not be able to go to a presentation or a workshop. So I wanted this information to be available to anyone, anytime, anywhere, when they need it most, or somebody they care for does. So I've created my online program, Get Ready for Grief. I define grief as our mental, physical, and emotional reaction to loss, transitions, and even change. It's whatever makes your heart ache. Divorce, diagnosis, job loss, bullying, mental health issues, and yes, facing end of life. Grief is a part of everyone's journey, regardless of age, race, culture, sexual orientation, economic situation. And it can be the most challenging times of our lives, and yet we do not prepare before. We do not develop coping skills or strategies. We wait until we're in crisis, and then we try to helplessly navigate through. Why? Because it can be painful. It's unfamiliar. And when we don't know what to do or say, we often avoid. But we also create excessive and needless suffering in our lives and the lives of others. So there's good news. We can do better. So if you're ready for change, you've come to the right place, because we can support and learn from each other. So I've designed my program with you in mind. Someone who wants to be empowered and resilient and happy. Someone who cares about others. Whether you're a professional, a volunteer, a caregiver, or someone who has never given being ready for grief a single thought, this program is for you, no matter what life throws at you. Each module is based on one of my 7 takeaways, my principles that I've learned on how to live life to the fullest, grieve and support others, and yes, have the talk about end of life long before it arrives and diffuse the fear. Each has an introduction video, a worksheet from the workbook, which explores the takeaway in further detail and depth, and a second video where I share my thoughts on all the questions. All the videos are less than 10 minutes and they're very easy and understandable. And there's a short description of every module on our first page. Although some of the topics may be challenging, I deliver the message with heart and humor, because it's already serious enough. And you can go through the modules in whatever order works best for you. There's no right or wrong, only what is right for you. And you will have lifetime access, so you can go at your pace, lean into it, one step at a time. So it is time for change. It's time to take responsibility for our lives, become the very best version of ourselves, and live life to the fullest. If we get ready for grief, we can be more empowered, resilient, and even happier. And this is one of the greatest gifts we can give to ourselves and others. So I know we can do this together. Are you ready?